Hi, you're again with Volleyball Explained Podcast and our edition about the Italian League. Today we are going to comment not only the Italian League, but also the quarterfinals in the Champions League. But as usual, let's start with firstly the Italian Championship and the preliminary playoffs, the so-called preliminary playoffs, which were actually the 1/8 finals in Italy, which finished just days ago on Saturday was the last match of the playoffs and the only match that reached a third, a clash between Milano and Verona. But let's start firstly with the matches which ended in 2. Piacenza Padova. Both matches ended 3-1 for Piacenza, and Modena Ravenna. Both matches ended 3-0 to Modena. So Modena will play LUBE in the quarterfinals, and Piacenza will play Trento. Nicola, Ronnie, thank you again for joining. And what do you think about these two matches? No surprises there. Honestly, I didn't watch any of these, maybe just a little slight part of the second match between Ravenna and Modena, but nothing special, nothing usual here.
Well, as we said it at the beginning, the game between Piacenza and Padova was probably the most unfair one. Let's talk like that, because of Soji absence for Padova, which also lost Stern after just 3 points or 6 points, I don't remember, in game 1. So basically, Padova have to face Piacenza without the starting duo, Soji Stern, and they fought, but they were pretty inferior to Piacenza. The setter was the one they acquired just before the preliminary round for the last 2 games of the regular season, Tusk, the Austrian setter, and they use Nicolò Casaro as a backup for Stern, who actually didn't play that bad, but it's a different thing if you can line up your starting weapon and when you line up a backup. Once again, I want to give a kudos to Bottolo, which was his debut in the playoff, and he lived up to expectation, to the things he's shown in the regular season. Piacenza didn't do anything extraordinary to go through the next round. Actually, after the first game, they won 3-1 after losing the first set. Bernardi was very upset about his team performance. Then he praised his player after the second game. As said, nothing special, but a mention to Cleveno, who had 2 great games. He finished both over 60% in game 1 and in game 2, and was basically the most reliable weapon for Baranovic.
Do you think that Piacenza is more consistent now than in the beginning and in the middle of the season, and they have a chance against Trento in the quarterfinal?
I don't know. It is the same team, but just in the playoffs. That's all. Look at the shape of Grosser. He has been playing bad since the first round of the Superlega, and this maybe don't change till he end his job at this club. That because as we all know, next season Piacenza is planning to cover that position with Lagumdzija. But for me, it's the same thing. I don't think that Trentino will give them the chance of win even a match. So yeah, it can be 3-0, 3-1, I don't think 3-2. So I don't know what Nicola thinks. Sorry.
Actually, I don't trust Piacenza too much because throughout the entire season, they always look like they're on the verge to rise their game and close the gap with a group of contenders. It has not happened yet. As you said, Grosser probably didn't play his best season so far. It could happen in the playoff. The playoff, we all know that's another season, let's call it another shorter season. And Bernard is a coach that knows how to set a team to win this series. I also think that Trento is the favorite, but we'll see. Piacenza is a team full of veterans, full of players that has been there before. It's difficult to see them beating Trento twice, once away, because in away game, because if they go to game 3, they had to play Trento twice in Palatrento. So we'll see. I don't feel so comfortable facing Piacenza right now, but it will be a surprise at the end if Trento will not qualify for the semifinal.
If you like, we can talk about Modena more in the Champions League part, because I don't think we have to say a lot about Modena Ravenna with 3-0 both matches. So it's one-way clash between these two teams. And the third of those preliminary playoffs in the Italian Superlega was the most interesting match of them all. Milano Verona, the only match that ended in 3 matches, 3-1 in the first match for Milano, 3-1 in the second match for Verona, and 3-0, but in a very curious, let's say in this way, match for Milano in the last. So Milano will play Perugia. But what happened there? I mean, for me, it's very strange. Was very strange, this battle between Milano and Verona, because Verona is struggling. It is clear in Bulgaria we have a say that one bird doesn't make a spring. So Matey Kaziyski can make a spring or summer for Verona, but Milano was also not showing enough quality for the people they have, like Urnaut, Ishikawa, Jean Patry, Piano, Kozamernik, and Pesaresi. So I believe that Milano, even though they got to the next phase, they are not playing in the way they should be playing with all those players. And Verona, again, they are struggling with only Matej on top level. But I believe in the beginning of the season, I was thinking that the biggest problem of Verona, of them all, is the libero, Bonami. I believe that he improved his game, and now the biggest problem in the last several games is Spirito. Of course, let's mention also that he was injured, but I don't think this is the only problem. He's setting the ball extremely bad, I would say, especially in position 4. Of course, this is not the only problem of Verona. They lack in quality in the opposite position. Mats Jensen is not showing this level he was showing in the when he started playing for the team. And Stoichev tried with Aiden Zingel, who is principally a middle blocker, as an opposite, and this worked out. This didn't work out also. So, and this is not a surprise too. What do you think about this? And do you think that, especially for Milano, do you think that they can play better with all those players?
Well, Milano came from 2 games versus Halbank in the middle of the week. So in between that, they have to face Verona 3 times. But I think Verona had the chance to force a tie break in the first game, even when Jensen played for 8% in attack. So they reacted too late in that game, and then you have the third one. The third one was a cold match, cold defeat, because they had the chance to win second and third easily. We are not talking about 25-23. They are winning the sets by 7 points or something. So it is what it is, man. It's bad luck. We could see it in the today's game between Monza and Valentia, where the players can close the sets, especially in the, like Gianluca Passini says, that 15-25. So yeah, it is what it is. Matei did his best for his age, and he attacked for at least 40 something percent in the 3 game series. As you say, Jensen, I saw your podcast with him in the last weeks, and he's not a pure opposite. I believe he has been changed between his young career in the NCCA and other things, but
He started as a setter.
look at this. So let's say that Verona did what he could, or they can, with that roster. My disappointment for the season was this JHK American player. He didn't show to be a good partner in crime to Matei. So you can say, okay, Bonami is this, Bonami is that, but Bonami is not a spiker, so he doesn't contribute to win the game. And when you have only one guy, which is Matei, of course, and with 36 years making all the shots, it's hard to win. So yeah, and back into your original question, Milano can do better than this. I believe they will win the Challenge Cup because I don't think Sirat, even with the Termat, Van Garderen, and your boy
Martino Tanasov.
Atanasov could match this entire squad. You can see variations in the game of Milano, especially the factor, the Ishikawa factor, because you don't know how he's gonna play when when the game starts. This is a Japanese player that easily can make you suffer or give you the game. So one day he can play for 30 something percent, another day 60, maybe 50, and yeah. Shout outs to Jean Patry, a great player for the future of France. And I don't know, man, Nicola, if you want to add something more.
Well, I basically agree with everything you said. I just want to underline Urnaut's performance in Game 3, which was the best attacker for Milano throughout the entire game. And yeah, Kaziyski probably underperformed, but as usual in his career, he hasn't had a healthy season from start to the end. So for Verona, it's hard to swallow the loss after the 2 sets they throw away. But I would love to watch Stoichev in the ensuing the training session the day after or 2 days after to listen to what he has to say. But now they probably could go to the end of the playoff for the 5th place bracket, and they could still save the season, because I have this feeling that in this playoff, the teams that will be eliminated in the quarterfinal will not play that playoff for the Challenge Cup with the same spirit that the team that were eliminated before. I don't know if you guys get what I try to say. And Verona, to me, I won't say is the favorite, but it could still turn the season around, winning this playoff, and have huge chances to do that, in my opinion. And
do you think that Jeske could have been another kind of player if he wouldn't injury that first season in Italy when he tear up his knee? I mean, this is a guy who was calling to be the next Anderson alongside with TJ DeFalco, Sanders, and another great, well, let's say rising American stars. So do you think it could have been different if he doesn't get injured in their season, in the first season, I believe, in Italy?
Yeah, definitely, because he could have developed a lot in Italy, and he could have proved himself game after game. But when you start a growth, and after 2 months you had to stop because of an injury, then you have to restart again, and then half season you have another injury, is difficult. I mean, this guy has been picking himself up for the past 3 seasons, and still is playing in the Superlega. So it's a pity that he hasn't shown his his best yet because of the injuries. But I think that if it would have been healthier, he could have been one of the top outside hitters for the US team, and one of the top 15 in the Superlega, definitely.
Let's explain also that any team outside the teams which are going to qualify for the top 4, for the final 4, for the semifinals, will be able to reach the 5th place in the end, including Cisterna, which is a very strange format again, which is I don't know why they played even the whole regular season after they, it's an absurd.
Let's reward you for the losses you had. So in the entire season, that's the premise of this playoff formats. I know that it's because the sponsor that spend too much money on volleyball, and they in some way want help them to recover some of those revenue back in the way of advertising and those kind of things. But man, come on, Cisterna is in a long-term vacation since day one. They got COVID. They lose some shape, and then the coach was fired. Then COVID came. They couldn't win even a set or a game. It cost them at least 15 rounds to win a game. So yeah.
Let's rewind. They won 2 matches out of 22, I believe. 2, yeah.
Yeah.
As long as I remember, there were 2 matches, one against Monza and one in tiebreak, but I don't remember. Maybe they Vibo. Yes, Vibo.
They beat the Vibo.
So this is the best transition to the next. The first playoff match between the 2 victims of Cisterna in the regular season was played. Monza against Vibo 3-1. The match ended minutes ago, just before the start of our podcast today and the recording. You watched more or less the match. What do you think? And my perspective is that we should mention in the beginning that Monza and Vibo haven't played for almost a month, but I believe that Vibo is not playing anything close to what they have shown in the regular season, especially in those matches against Trento and LUBE. And Monza is playing on a very high level, I believe, and Lagumdzija is showing world class, I believe.
especially your boy Lanza making those pipes, to say, "Look at me, I'm here, I'm still here," and I believe he will go to Poland, if I'm not mistaken, next season. So yeah, this is a thing that could have been something more, but I believe that because of the historical background that Trentino have, and they also had some struggles with other teams besides the top three, and they couldn't, keep the level of the for the entire season, But Lagumdzija is growing, and I believe he will be one of the top fives opposites in the future if he's gonna if he doesn't got injury. Sorry, and yeah, the guy is a beast because with that size and that jump, it reminds me a lot of Sokolov in his physical shape. He is not so slim like Jensen, for example, or Nimir, and the guy like to eat, and do muscles. So yeah, well, especially the setter was great today, Orduna, yeah. And for me, the MVP of this game was Donovan Savurnok with from the service line, and this is a player that is interesting because he's been around in Italy for, I believe, 4 years now, and he keeps playing in the middle level team. He doesn't want to go otherwhere besides that level. I don't know if because he doesn't have the talent to be in one of the top four, or he wants to play. I believe if he chooses to go to one of the top four, he wasn't gonna play too much as he does in Monza, But it's interesting. It's interesting because now we have the Leal situation going out from LUBE, and the people who he's asking who is gonna be the next oxide hitter that will follow Osmani Juantorena in his, I believe, final career year. He doesn't retire next year, he will do it in the next one because I don't think that his body can take too much at this point. And yeah, great game for them. A little bit shaky in the ends, but it doesn't bother to lose a set 26-24. Valentia do it what they could, but the lack of power in the position two it dragged this team, and they have to make some adjustment. Sometimes it work out, sometimes not, and it is what it is. 3-1 to Mons in home.
By the way, also to me, Lagumdzija is very much reminding of Sokolov, not only the way he looks, but also the way he walks, the way when he's hugging his team.
He's not Turkish, man. He's from the Balkans. He's a neighbor of yours. So
yeah. So it's very similar in the way he's spiking. Almost you never think. So I believe that this is a very, very fair point. Maybe let's go to the Champions League. The next playoffs in Perugia, Milano, LUBE Modena was postponed. The first match we played on Saturday because of a COVID in LUBE,
now. So I know that it's not Simon or Jan. I don't know. I believe it's someone important because when they postpone for one case of COVID, the situation, of course, they postpone also because there is the chance of maybe tomorrow or the day after they will come with more cases. You never know. The first case that LUBE had was Beppe Cormio, the general manager, of course, this was something minor because he doesn't spend too much time with the team. If could have been the Georgie, then we will have been screwed out in the Champions League. We screw out anyway, so it doesn't matter now. But yeah, I believe it's someone important. Maybe the Checo. I don't know, man. So like you said, Nicola, if Modena can beat Civitanova, the COVID will. So let's hope, for the sake of the sports, they can win at least. They can play at least. I don't care if they win or not, but let the guys play and do their job. That's it.
Okay, let's go to the quarterfinals in the Champions League, starting with the two, let's say, less interesting matches because they didn't end up in a golden set. SKRA Bełchatów from Poland against Zenit, 2 wins for the Russian team, so they are true. And 2 wins for Trento, even more easily against the team of Berlin Recycling Volleys. So Zenit and Trento are true in the semifinals. And I watched partly the games between SKRA and Zenit, but here my opinion is that Zenit is playing much better than the last season when they started this experiment with Mikhailov as an outside hitter receiver and Sokolov and in the opposite position. And now with Bartosz Bednarz, they're looking much better. And SKRA isn't showing what they should show with a lot of potential. The biggest weakness of them is the setter position with Grzegorz Lomacz, who is aging and also is a little bit too short. And we know that the only short setter that could do great is the one and only Tonuti. And we're going to talk about Tonuti a little bit later.
I could comment on Trento's games briefly, if you want. And we said in the last podcast that it was the most unbalanced of the 4 quarterfinals, and we've been proven right. The first leg in Germany ended 3-1 to Trento, and it could have been 3-0 if Trento didn't blow a 4 points lead in the third set, and eventually lost it 26 to 28. Actually, Berlin didn't play a bad game. If you look at the stats, they ended up with 51% in attack and 9 aces. They were simply no match for Trento, especially if you consider that Trento basically played without the outside hitters. Coys was subbed off after 1.5 set, where he scored 0 points out of 8 attacks, missed all the 3 serves he tried, and gave up an ace. He basically played for Berlin as long as he was on the field. Lucarelli had a bad night as well. So basically, it took just Abdelaziz and the middle blockers to win the game. The difference between the two teams was evident. In the second leg, the game lasted the 2 sets Trento needed to qualify for the semifinal. In both sets, the 2 teams went neck to neck until the 20s. Then Trento opened the gas and took them. And the third set, well, both teams rested their starting player, and it was totally irrelevant. It lasted 20 minutes. It ended 25 to 14. And it was even a pain to watch. I mean, only the substitutes for Trento wanted to play that set. Berlino's team wanted to go home as soon as possible. That's what it looks to me. But yeah, it wasn't a probant... how can I say, matchup for Trento. It was the easy path to the semifinal, probably, of all the 4 teams that qualify.
Okay, let's go to Modena Perugia then. The first of 2 matches, 2 quarterfinals with a golden set ending. Both matches one way. The first one 3-0 for Modena, the second one 3-0 for Perugia, and a golden set win for Perugia with a as long as I remember, 15-5. Yeah. So it's
Continue.
Yeah. Go on, because it's very strange with our usual victim Vettori playing a very good match in the first match. And what happened in Perugia? Because Perugia winning against Modena 3-0 is something usual, normal, but Modena winning against Perugia 3-0 with that squad is not that normal.
I will give you first of all, I will give you a reference. Do you remember in the Troy movie when Hector kills apparently Achilles and he didn't kill it? It was his cousin Patroclo. Well, this is exactly what happened with this series, man. Modena was jumping of joy. You know, they beat the team with the best player in the world right now, Wilfredo Leon. Was hopeless because this for me was the worst match of his entire season for him. He didn't show up, and you know when he didn't show up, you know what happened with this team of Perugia. They fell apart. Also, let's say that the Perugia team was coming from a long period of resting because they ended the Super League the Super League regular season. And the starters didn't play the last match. So yeah, after a break of almost 2 weeks, 2 weeks something, they faced this inspired team of Modena.
They played in the Champions League.
Well,
they played the second round of the group in the Champions League after the regular season.
Yes, so this happening very often when a team is called out of freedom, and the other one comes with at least one game. The Modena came with that victory over Ravenna in the preliminary tournament, and yeah, 3-0. Okay, so there were some people that were saying, okay, man, we just have to win 2 sets in Palabarton. We got this, and that was the entire history of Hector when Achilles show up. And the next game, Wilfredo Leon take all the time to enjoy this victory, 3-0 easily. It wasn't even a golden set. It was a massacre, 15-7 or something like that, 15-5, I believe. It wasn't a great game for Leon from the perspective of attack percentage, but he delivers the points in the most needed moments. I thought that at least Modena will fight to win a set, maybe, to say, come on, we lose, but at least we got one. This didn't happen in the 3 first set, and yes, if you wait to get killed, you will get what's coming to you. So 4-0 to Perugia, and they are in the next round. They will face, of course, Trentino. And I hope that this time we could see a better series than happened in the Coppa Italia. Come on, Trent, you have to show up, man. You have 3 Champions League, and Perugia has none. So yeah, this can be some interesting series because I strongly think that from this semifinal, there will come the champion of this edition of Champions League. And now we have the last series, I believe, and I don't want to talk about this because it made me sad, so I will let Nicola talk. Or
yeah, I just want to add a couple of things about Modena and Perugia. As you said, well, Leon sent Patroclo to play for him in the first leg. He made 5 mistakes in attacks in 3 sets. I think that since he's been playing in Italy, since he came there 3 seasons ago, I never see something like that. I've seen more like that by Plotnitsky, who made also 5 mistakes as well. And by the end of the game, Perugia made it 26. So I want to give credit to Plotnitsky, the way he could pick himself up in the second leg, because we all know that Leon couldn't play that bad for 2 games. But Plotnitsky, who has been criticized many times during this season, he basically won the golden set alone. It looked like Abdelaziz against Novosibirsk. He go to the service line when the score was 5-4, I think, and he left when it was 14-5. The last thing is pretty, I wouldn't say ironical, but curious, that Modena went through the group stage thanks to a 15-5 tiebreak, and then has been eliminated from the quarterfinal with a 15-5 golden set.
Yeah, there's a total balance in the nature. So it's you once you lose, once you win. So it's at the end you are always on the zero. Yeah, status quo. Let's go to those. Yes, let's go to the fourth quarterfinal. And for me, maybe for everyone, the most interesting one between LUBE and ZAKSA. First match, ZAKSA winning as a guest 3-1. Second match, LUBE winning 3-0, but golden set, and ZAKSA won 16-14. So LUBE is out, ZAKSA is in, and let's say that golden curse for LUBE is going on. Let's start with Ronnie.
My face says it all, it is. I never saw the players of LUBE since I followed this team back in 2018, 2019. Faceless and speechless after the game ended, because they had the chance to win it and close it, but 2 mistakes of Joan Di Leal, especially in the transitions, making those, in my country, in Cuba, we say K2, the counter-attack, when you defend the ball and set the counters. Man, come on. You are considered the number 2 player in the world, or at least maybe sometimes he think he's the best in his mind, but the best don't miss these opportunities that the other team give you. I mean, if we look at the golden set, the ref make some bad calls in favor of LUBE, and they didn't take advantage of that. I will say that I was a leader. I feel sorry about Sliwa, I think it was, because he called that he didn't touch the ball with the block, and in the replay we saw something different. And even with that, this humble team of ZAKSA beat the king, the last king of Europe, and it is some kind of David versus Goliath. The thing that pisses me off is when the game is over, some fanboys of SKRA went to the page of LUBE Civitanova and start to mocking and writing in Polish, and something that Italians couldn't understand. And this is very usual when the underdog team wins. And for me, ZAKSA play have more the anger for the victory than Modena had. They almost win a set or maybe 2 if it wasn't for the spectacular performance of the Rolando Simon from the 9 meters line. And but it wasn't enough for LUBE, especially with the 2 offside hitters playing overall from 45% to 50 something. In the last game, Guantorena was a little more better than Leal. And once again, it has been proven that Camille is not made for this team, or at least he doesn't show the performance that he should he should be doing for this kind of thing. So yeah, we don't have to forget that after the first game, Ferdinando De Giorgi was sacked in front of well, in front not. They made an agreement, and he decided for the best of the team, for the best, that the Georgie and his second in command, I don't know which his name, maybe Nicola remember, Nicola doesn't remember either. Well, they were both sacked. So yeah, and now we have this situation with COVID, and the fans are not happy with this decision of taking out the Georgie, the man who give Lube all the titles after Medei exit in the half of the season after the disappointing loss at the World Club Championship, as we all remember. And yeah, it is what it is. Congrats to the ZAKSA team, especially Lukas Kaczmarek, that is a guy who has been playing very well in the Polish championship. And I believe Heinen can give him a chance to fight for at least test him in the BNL matches. We all know that we can do many changes in these last months prior to Tokyo, but if the guy delivers, he might be a good option instead of what is this Mati Musai, of course, because we all know that Kuret will be the starting opposite from Poland national team this summer. So yeah, Nicola, if you want to add something, please be nice. You know, don't take too much on this team that they are already taken too much in the past week.
Well, the last 5 points of the golden set were something. I don't know. I think what the hell is going on, because Lube with the score, they were up 12-11. They got the counter attack to go 13-11, and the Checo decided to set to Leal, which was in 4, and he hadn't jumped basically, but it was not Leal's fault in my opinion. It was more the Checo bad choice, and so Leal hit the ball very poorly, and then ZAKSA get the point. The next point, as you said, it was a clearly blocked touch. I saw it live from the couch. I don't know how the player that hit the ball didn't realize that the block has touched his spike. So Lube were gifted with that point. And the ensuing point, Lube had another counter-attack to get 14-12 and get to the match point with Anzani setting in bagger for Osmani. Again in 4, but it was probably one of the worst bagger ever, in one of the worst moment ever in Anzani's history of playing volleyball. The ball was so high and so out of path that Osmani tried to spike it, and it touched the top of the how do we call it in English? The
antenna.
It's
the same.
Like in Italian actually.
The same.
the Italian words. The top of the antenna, and the points go to ZAKSA. Then the two aces decided the game. I didn't see Riklički playing that bad, considering both leg, the first leg and the second leg. But you say the right, Ronnie. If not for Simon, probably the second leg wouldn't have gone to the golden set, in my opinion. It single-handedly turned the end of the second and the third set, that were fought point to point, and he gave them to Lube. Changing the Georgie in the middle of a two-leg series is not the smartest option in my opinion, for as bad as the chemistry was between the players and the guys and the Georgie, and his second that we find out it was Nicola Giolito, just for the records. And for us, bad chemistry was, it's pretty unlikely that Blengini would have turned things around. I mean, he had just a couple of training sessions to try to do something more. On the other side, ZAKSA, I think they deserved to go through the quarterfinals and reach the semifinal. I don't know, Bogdan, what you think, but they were pretty consistent, especially in the first leg, and then in the second one, they never completely broke down.
As Modena did.
Exactly. They were at the point that they could have taken a set or two, and then the end, even when they were trailing in the golden set, they managed somehow to win the set. So LUBE had its options to win the games. They, in an unusual way, wasted them, and at the end, I think that ZAKSA deservedly won this quarterfinal.
I'm not going to talk about LUBE. I'm going to talk about ZAKSA. Firstly, I believe that we are underestimating a little bit ZAKSA. I mean, it was for sure that LUBE was the favorite in this game. But firstly, ZAKSA is a total dominant in Poland. They have only two losses, I believe, in the whole regular season. And these losses were just after they were, or 2 or 3. I know it doesn't matter if they were all in matches without any meaning, because they were ensuring their first place maybe after 16 or 17 matches, all of them wins. This is first. The second, their team, which is very well sticked. They play for 2-3 years together with only one big change from the last season. One of the middle blockers would change, and Kochanowski went in. They have one of the best setters in the world, Benjamin Tenuti. They have, for me, the second best libero in the world, Paweł Zatorski. I believe that only Zhenya Grebennikov is better than him. From the rest of the regular squad, they have Aleksander Slivka, international Polish player, Kamil Semeniuk, who is not an international Polish player only because Poland has so many outside hitters like Leon, Kubiak, Bednosh, Slivka, Szapuk, Kwolek. In almost in any other national team, maybe out of the top 3, 4, 5 national teams, he will be a player in the starting squad. Kochanowski, also an international player. Kaczmarek, an international player, maybe even not that regular in the squad, but also sometimes a regular player. And David Smith, who is an international player of the US. So all of them are more or less playing for big national teams, and some of them are one of the best in their positions. So I believe that I expected, and I think I mentioned that in our podcast, that I expect for ZAKSA to reach a tiebreak. I didn't expect to win overall, but I believe that there was some underestimation of ZAKSA against LUBE, because LUBE is that great and good in principle, but for me, ZAKSA playing against Zenit in the one semifinal, and in the second semifinal, Trento against Perugia, and for me it's very hard to say who is going to win in both matches, because very in bookmaker style, let's say that it's 1-2 matches. I'm not sure at all. It's very hard to predict.
Let's say that when you have an Italian club versus any other Europe team in the Champions League, the bets is going to highly go to the Italian team because of the highest possible level that you can find in Europe in terms of the domestic league. Uh, I believe also that Lube underestimated a little bit, especially in the first game, to this team of ZAKSA. And we don't forget that in the first game, Satorsky defended like hell all the shots that was coming from the position 3, 2, 4, and the pipes. He make a little bit frustrated to the players of Lube. Juan Torena was looking bad to everyone as usual, and that things I believe got even worse when they lose in the locker room because this end with the sack of the Georgie. So yeah, man, I don't know. I think that ZAKSA has a good chance, especially because this team of Zenit Kazan has been a struggle in the Russian Championship during the season with the bad performance of Ervin and the unpredictable game of Bednarz, which is a player that has been suffered with injuries and such. And they have a really good chance to reach the final. But I don't think, and this is will be the first time that a Polish team win the Champions League, if they make it to the finals and win over Trentino or Perugia. But either in anyway, resuming this idea that I have, Trentino and Perugia, for me, is the final of this Champions League, and we will watch and enjoy those two games. I will expect that Trentino make a good resistance because it is not about Perugia, it's about Trento that has to show us something more than we have been seeing during the regular season of the Serie A. So for me, I think it's the now or never for Trento, and I think Wilfredo Leon will want to win his fifth Champions League now that Lube is out of the equation. So let's see what team can deliver in the end. I don't know, Nicola. You seems a little bit serious.
No, I completely agree. I mean, to beat Perugia, Trento don't just need to try to limit Leon and his serve, but they have to reach the next level, as we could say now. The leap that, as you said, everyone is expecting from them as a team. And Abdelaziz has to redeem itself after the terrible performance in the Coppa Italia semifinals. But personally, I don't think that we should rely too much on that game to make a prediction. As I told you in the podcast, it was it was the worst game ever for Trento under Lorenzetti, where nothing worked out at the end. So I don't think that we will see that match once again in the semifinals, in the two-leg semifinals. On the other side, yeah, Zenit maybe is not the Zenit we're used to see in the past years, but I wouldn't call them out because there are players like Butko, Volvic, Mikhailov that have played so many games like that, so many meaningful games like a semifinal or a final, that they know exactly what it takes to go through the final and eventually winning the Champions League. About ZAKSA, I've like a remark that I think Andrea Zorzi made on the Italian television. I think it was him. It said, it's a Polish team that defends like a French team. They defend a lot on basically every ball with every player. And that meant a lot, especially in the first leg, but also on, as Ronnie said, when you see the other team that keeps taking the ball alive after spike after spike after spike, you also could be demoralized. So I give every team 25% to win to win the cup. I'm not so sure that the winner of Trento and Perugia will be the favorite in a final, because it's a one-way game and just a single match. But the funny thing is that if Perugia will go to the final, they basically have played the entire Champions League in Italy, except for the 2 games they played in Tour against Lube and Tour, because then they played the, let's call the home games in the group in Perugia. Then they play in Perugia. They play in Italy in Modena. They play the semifinal in Italy against Trento, and the final is in Italy in Verona. So they basically it looked like more an Italian Cup than a Champions League to them. And if they go to the final, don't forget that they've beaten Modena, they've beaten Lube, and they've beaten Trento. So they are the best team in Italy if they go to the final, in my opinion, even if they will not win the Champions League at the end, or they will not win the Scudetto.
Yeah, talking about defending, once Luboganev said, I believe, that he doesn't have a problem with being with making an error in attack. He doesn't make that problematic, the fact that he's being blocked, but he's getting demoralized. He was getting demoralized by the fact that his spike was defended, because he said something like, I knew that I made everything like I should do, but it didn't work out because just the opponent was there. So I believe that was exactly the reason why I said that for me now we have Grebennikov, and just after him is Zatorsky. Let's end with the quarterfinals results in the Women's Champions League, with Novara winning 2 times against Fenerbahce, Imok Volley Conegliano winning 2 times against Savino Del Bene Scandici, Vakov Bank winning 2 times 3-0 against Chemik Police, and Bustor Sitiu winning 2 times against Ejasha Bashir from Turkey. So no golden sets here. 3 Italian teams in the semifinals: Novara, Imok Volley Conegliano in the first semifinal, and Bustor Sitiu Vakov Bank in the second semifinal. Let's say that the semifinals, both men and women, will be played on 17th and 23rd or 24th of March.
Super final will be at Verona.
And the final will be in Verona on the 1st of May.
We still don't have the info if they're gonna let people get in the
I don't think so.
Likely that the crowd could go in, even a small one. It's very unlikely.
It was expecting, because Italy is one of the top countries with COVID, alongside with France and Spain and Germany. So and about the women, it is more easy to say who is gonna fight for the title, Conegliano and Vakif Bank. It is more boring to watch, because you know that those 2 teams are built to take it all. And today Vakif won the Turkish Cup 3-0, like it was nothing. And Conegliano, come on, these girls never lose a point during the regular season of the Italian Championship. So 74 points. So 3-0 and 3-1 only. And I mean, it is in previous season we could see maybe 3 teams or 4 teams, but now it is like Cold War. Vakif Bank from Turkey and Conegliano from Italy.
Yeah,
There
at
is
least
no need to comment on this because for the Italian sake, they want to Conegliano win. For the Turkish one, they want Vakif to win. So yeah, that's pretty much.
Yeah, at least the final will be interesting between Conegliano and Vakif Bank. I believe that this is everything for now. The next podcast, I believe we could do it after the quarterfinals in Italy and the semifinals in the Champions League. That means after the 24th of March. Again, thank you for joining, Ronnie and Nicola. Thanks to all the listeners or listeners, for in this case, for listening to our podcast today. And if you like our content, you can subscribe to Volleyball Explained, listen to our podcast in Spotify and the other platforms, subscribe and follow Cuban Spike in YouTube and Facebook, and be a follower of Pilole di Volley of Nicola in Facebook and Twitter. Thank you, and hear you also next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.